na ochro na ochro na ochro nti edi no de it rings a bell na enei yes yabaka or senior journalist or Canada said ye etie pay was the pain on shebe nkum enhwe nifa because o hwe baby o sha ase free kura de pedia o de do eye adwuma begini se ho de free or can sabna without fear enhwe be nkum enhwe nifa adwuma no so ne sa nka eseko na enei o fi ha etime say o kana sema o hwe be nkum enhwe nifa you will love to hear from this man but opening enei your sister station ewa Accra eho eno do so edi di kwi na empo NPP after January 31st ye TSM yes a top bottom approach ye bie mu na edru ho so a ohwe animu so be call for a year communications director for the party it is possible enti ene why ena be kana sem ebusuafo Gordon Asari Bediako dodo na efren Godon ene Godon ewo djubedie so a yede no ebeto ato adwene nti ekakra ye beda ne akasamu no so ede ama no but ene ensam awro ewo ho mebubo bobi so na yenko yedim endra wodim say eye honorable ato forcing yes ato is forcing where say ato is forcing and this friend at his force now share the bag a crowd a pija the bag and so or the budget no buy ya utumu say yes o share na budget no ekoye de mawa NPP e share adwuma bi ase but ye bedru ho etienwa or the budget statement na aba begufo na quickly ansa na me crossover na mako eye Gordon enchen no me bobo highlights ni bi eso Endra eye ato forcing honorable ato forcing and some of the babetu dwano the tofabo ebie de say omo allocate eye 110 million cedis o see no omo de kwa kwhye eye 24-hour economy no emu into 24-hour economy program no 110 million cedis and omo allocate omo de kwa kwhye okwadi mu ekire mu say 2.2 billion cedis and no more allocate and now somewhere year of the Kwakoshe a Minister of Food and Agriculture. Ntieno sika 2.2 billion Ghana cedis and the Eco Food and Agriculture Ministry. After such name say almost the 245 million cedis Kwakoshe and Kokon Kitinkiti and livestock program into 245 million cedis. Omo the air Kwaku nkukon kitinkiti program no I think so Wednesday and a President Mahama eba santimantem ha and no so omo ebe launch sa project no ewa ha. Furthermore, also 15.2 billion cedis eco energy sector shortfalls. It omo allocate 15.2 billion cedis for the energy sector shortfalls. I don't know a aircro 4.8 billion cedis. Omo di tua eye IPP legacy debts nibi. Omo di tua sa IPP legacy debts no. Enti sika 4.8 billion cedis ne ekoye no. Eno no mo search 4.3 billion cedis. Eno co-ministry for roads and highways construction. Enti 4.3 billion cedis misiso for roads and highways construction. He further went on and also quoted him say 3 billion cedis. Says the case one more child and now someone allocated at the court road maintenance trust fund emu na omo de ayeye ya kwani bi in 166 constituencies and you say a year sika 3 billion cedis there for 10-kilometer roads I won 166 constituencies no afifu fra ye bewura mu no and also 3.8 billion on the Ebay no 30 billion cedis on the Koshe a big push program and almost a BA country no into the sika 30 billion cedis a Koshe a big push program no and I feel the Kwakwa also 33.3 billion cedis a Ministry of Education for a year omu programs the activities are omu beye into 33.3 billion cedis and on a Ministry of Education for omu programs and activities. Now quickly, and then minority also a MPP for a press conference. Former Finance Minister Mohammed Amin Adam and then was thinking na the top of nyina ne say enra budget statement ato force and ebekin kan ye no chese enya de a edidaso bia ewu budget statement no and transformation chese enya de a ebesesa bibia na bebi no ochire mu say and then yesi this year almost o cedi to dollar ne ma koye eno no ochire say ah na sika pudia NDC for a pompe ediagum foreign exchange interventions awra omo aye no anka cedi nkanya ba bi ese ginani o o se nkese ba 8 cedis to the dollar anka sika the foreign exchange interventions awra omo aye no sika obo de awra no nkese cedi by now ya ka dollar to a cedi a nka ye 8 cedis kra nkese de dam 8 cedis ba ba bi ya de dam no kra no still who dey say cedi no a week na yanhwe we dey quickly nana kwame mesle aye Mohammed Amin Adam press conference no fatu sumam ye den yentie.
We were expecting that this budget would deliver hope and positive direction to our economy following a year of inactivity. Unfortunately, it is another budget used to apportion blame to the MPP government, the previous MPP government, and thus neglect the responsibility of the NDC government to the people of Ghana. As a responsible minority, we have chosen to present a constructive alternative view to the budget, which was more or less another litany of initiatives they do not intend to implement. Gradually, the people of Ghana will come to terms with this government's mastery of propagating empty slogans and yet delivering nothing. The 2026 budget is presented under the theme Resetting for Growth, Jobs and Economic Transformation. It builds on recent macroeconomic stability which began under the MPP government. The trajectory for a return to single-digit inflation, improved reserves, and early signs of recovery in the non-oil GDP sector was expected. And we have known this since a year ago when the MPP left government. And these were due to the policies the previous MPP government implemented. As we have said in the past, the NDC has not initiated any new strategic policy to drive these developments. They have simply stuck to script developed by the MPP with the IMF 2 years ago when we negotiated the ECF IMF program. We were expecting that this budget would deliver hope and positive direction to our economy following a year of inactivity. Unfortunately, it is another budget used to apportion blame to the MPP government, the previous MPP government, and thus neglect the responsibility of the NDC government to the people of Ghana. As a responsible minority, we have chosen to present a constructive alternative view to the budget, which was more or less another litany of initiatives they do not intend to implement. Gradually, the people of Ghana will come to terms with this government's mastery of propagating empty slogans and yet delivering nothing. The 2026 budget is presented under the theme Resetting for Growth, Jobs and Economic Transformation. It builds on recent macroeconomic stability which began under the MPP government. The trajectory for a return to single-digit inflation, improved reserves, and early signs of recovery in the non-oil GDP sector was expected. And we have known this since a year ago when the MPP left government. And these were due to the policies the previous MPP government implemented. As we have said in the past, the NDC has not initiated any new strategic policy to drive these developments. They have simply... I
just want to remind all of us that yesterday a tragedy struck Ghana at the Elwak Sports Stadium, and I'm really speaking with a heavy heart as I speak on this issue, because young men and young women went to look to try to get a job, and in the process 6 young ladies, only ladies, lost their lives tragically yesterday. My deepest condolences on my own behalf and on behalf of the party to the families. They are grieving, their loss is very deep, and we don't know even what words we can offer to give them some comfort. But our deepest condolences on my behalf and on behalf of the New Patriotic Party to all the families who have sadly lost very dear ones. I think that the lesson in all of this that we can tell is that the military should review their processes for recruitment so that we can look at more modern techniques, apply some technology in the selection of these recruits. I think these are some of the lessons that we should learn so that something like this does not happen again. But for those we have lost, may their souls rest in perfect peace. Amen.
And so these are some of the excerpts yabo ede achro. But yes, breyen ko eye in seven so prequen. Na said your medical akacho be also afid watching with fidie ede ababe to alma. Na chese ene ewie Gordon asari bediako. Don't want to say your friend Gordon over Gordon. I don't have to do that. Any our hand over at there every na Sunday Bitika catch out the Bede Gordon Baba Chiche in Como Auro Ewaha. Now later on the program we expected a year lawyer Joanna lawyer a year Charles Opuku Joanna or also a year National Cathedral lawyer na mobe pass it through later on the program. It's be fidie also and Hasia. Big time in between time. Godon.
Hey, KK. Hey, my Jomana was very young. Die. Hey, just as a buffer nana and go for Dimikais, they could KK, they could take KK. But the body for Krum Hapa, eh? Once I be by number starting, I'm a Cosby. I'm Zoo, and I may tackle Lumeti, the most I tell my bad down. Miri ko professor most mo de yaje. Miri say president Mahama yaje frequency. Some say Mahama na yaje.
Oh, are they?
One I just Sam George the one no president Mahama use as conduit. One no ana conveyor belt. Wasuma say one carry identify nko.
Acquire order from above. And the above is President Mahama. Was said that now say Washe WONTUMI multimedia ye hano because you cannot create. Pimpi was in the pay and found wada intino. And then I may stop us uncle Fubi. And almost say radio no a question. Radio maybe will be able to meet TV. Who pay free fear, WONTUMI, WONTUMI, and do now so your network no so said I say a form kakranti. In fact, it will be followed on Facebook and then YouTube. Anyhow you look at it, no numbers never form. What does he? This is all boy yem.
But I go bonny yem.
Oh,
Yametias.
Oh, what's more boy Juma?
oh ekaka
therefore ne ayi da sebre
sankofo ye from Jimi anyi sankofo no Kwaku dawro ne da sebre ejeju amna ye from Jimi anyi wo yesi yalo mo so de ba wo yalo mo so de ba same me ka ho
down won count
the ebia me count ba asisi bia me hobate obia wo si tie
God na niam am to say
o me nyame ado ahode e wo ho say hunam de ye bottom na enye but it's never been that rosy sana if you are sitting once in a while no be say but it's all good so far as we have life na elia na wo kasamete say wo kan bibi fa MPP say wo say the bempo top down approach
yeah
you see that is where the problem is and yet top down
top but all that
yes I mean sir and yet factually correct
okay chirame mu oh yeah
and yet factually correct but you the first person that work any people
normally no yeah they say your chance ye free and get to ma be pem normally flag bearer at the end the area what you say and at this time around yes you call it the other way round if I'm not mistaken and that's a minimum point I will make
okay I mean
say you call the flag bearer no chance you know and about to you know top bottom approach top bottom unless it be one so you tell me the
okay so
and you correct
at the current time make us say technically sad na enye correct because party no foundation during we
okay
senka abase ye ni polling station executives and the coordinators constituency executives and the regional executives and the national and a key send for fraud ya and a keka say for flag bearer first and the keka send a top down approach
okay
by see na ya start ya ko flag bearer first foundation of one as any ho
yes I will
how do you say a top down approach because the foundation is still there
it will still go the same
yes
way
foundation no that's what that it no say no hwe MPP hye mu a flag bearer pan yeni what you say wo hwe MPP hye mu a flag bearer pan yeni it is
others bibia
obia ta monsoin obia tenu ano enso obia yin adwuma obia de be so somewhere July and I think August also enti no enso in the year near the be kan ho how do you say a top down approach as if say ye organize party no for and na ye ko start finity asie ni ho eti na atwa baabi afa na be pass for ndi aba but asie koso no nyina obi a wo ho eti pe na ni ho it can be top down approach it can be obi a opeso debate bia e be ka ho asem
bibia e wo ne edan disagree say bia friend top
I disagree because I'm going to say technically e ka say top down one bibia ni ho ye be ebia executives nyina ekọ eti ye be hye ne foforo eti ebi ni ho e na afemu so en ye nkoto national first asana beto regional asana beto constituency ne se no ne top down no
yeah
the team said that who bibia asase petezu o ba say de si eto aba ni wie 31st January na wani hom na be yadwuma national chairman ho ana national chairman ho national executives ni ho regional ni ho constituency ni ho so how can you say a top down approach any top down approach
aside that bibia
sign now we are only going to elect a flag bearer to complement the whole architecture afenasi etiesi a wa wo tena na beso no motem no so a na moko na ni wana ba motem no so a na boko na ni wana ba sanity enti enye technically speaking no enye top down approach and go forward adwefo for some this so called top down approach
yeah
you not go for insist on calling it top down approach but it is not true enye correct and go for adwen say top down approach dia and yanko fo bi me shanko fo bi so sanity
and yes I na me hu no
but sana go for hu no
and in way the and yes say be say last week na dey make rounds yeah papa Richard Anani now mkebia sanse we are carry flag bearer there name crowd but no so esa who problem this kebe ya nke this e call this not necessary but nke this e call this be a problem dey be a woka and no say ababishim say ye kotuwie bia obo be victimize say asan komo we say ye dey wie that but me dim say be a cap problems na wo pinpoint the area
you see I quite say uko pra enwambu yes emanwa ni nwane ena wo bie door no to bie gate na to enwa ni nyina adwane oba ya door na fra betum enwa ni we so moko etive die ye chabubu ehu hia
but the woka say be what problem inti na ma ba na sa no inti na be robo inside but problem the be na wo hu de say akwakofa top but minim say be a dey no
that see enkofo wo perception be to said the woka Dr. Richard Anani de no one also perception and say and say yakofo bi superstructure bia besi so na esisu wie say pa no ma ba be hunu ankofo wa ase sanity anyasa and the money you can't satisfy everybody.
I think we've gone past that.
Oh, yeah, one and they said, I abandoned perception. Oh, say, minimum,
me, the assemblies.
So you're Christian.
Be a Christian.
May must be Christian, but must be commented this. We disagree on one or two things, even in Christianity. Doesn't mean we are not Christians.
No.
And you know, when disagreements there, we say friction. Who took car. So we trick car say baby a glass and a where tra. So to say you train. Woman go there no. I did not tiny struggle say ubenya bibia atwi na akonanim. It's friction. The yapa we are say. And in a democracy, any society group biano, we have said friction kakra na multimedia a find tinu niema.
But go on, you quiet him. Yasha say with party matters. Say no a few weeks and I can just say Kwaku to a flag bearers. Eddie. Like just say Oshema December the chantemuna January ended ye Kwaku to. So far, how far? With a year flag bearer see your campaign say wait up say Edna what who said the echo so far within the NPP maybe try a flag bearer contest well
contest the idea beba but for me Brunei say it is what it is me sure say party be change leadership me sure the mehu the matie political history a cracking kind and say so would this political decision be our boutique say we are sabra buni na city na I remember say 2023 e ba no mo bon toa presidential prime minister no me ko okra constituency na me ko adukrum Edukrum Presby na the venerable Dambuchi. Yes, the constituency no. Enti umukushia wo nti Presby asore dem na ura Dambuchi by no kasa no say one wodi party the chiache pa na party na ababeye like a living being na party no ewusunsun edi scientific in case be yi panimu adi party ni mu a party no sunsun eti party ni sunsun emuvu di enipa bi achi na wono asa 2023 no wo sha na party ni sunsun nyina atu adi nipa ba ko achi na atu adi owura Dr. Mamu ba omi achi asa 2023 eti de obeye bia Dr. Baumia was going to win the 2023 primaries. Miss Bidi many did the many was a party in soon in the spirit in the air to the nation as a sign. Now, MPP primaries on minimum how Wayana delegates no. Some said they moon or more dream minimum. You could feel it.
Yeah.
What to me, I didn't say na party they pay. Mama typical example. A brand ye quarter malikoto. Ye na say 2012 ana. I think it's 2012 ye quarter mali. Eko yi national executives. Urapola Fuku ne engineer Kwabena Japan. Me I will say that's it is. Ye ko primaries no. Na me support Urapola Fuku. That time me Jesus Urapola Fuku was the most suitable candidate as national chairman. Na me support engineer Kwabena Japan. Na ye koye me ko ya wada me dru ho ya wada no na me hwe mu the watermali wonam krum nyina wo hu ade ne se ade no eye Polafoko dia wo sa ade no eye Kwabena Japan dia. Interestingly Nana Akufo-Addo wan support Polafoko, Nana Akufo-Addo wan support engineer Kwabena Japan, but me go na sabidi akon forever me support Nana Akufo-Addo. Till now me kono me try from say me Akufo-Addo boy, that's at that time come me penasem na Akufo-Addo we MPP ni pa na say we are brand here na we person look up to obi na ma we dey politics na say Akufo-Addo na na minim
the charismatic
look at that goodness. I mean his oratory skills, you can't have it anyway. Me support Nana Akufo-Addo. Party delegates in almost support Nana Akufo-Addo, but they didn't like Nana Akufo-Addo's choice as national chairman and then with Sir John as general secretary. Na party is spread to the Polafoko echi and engineer Kwabena Japan echi. Me wo ho me hwese de then incumbent general secretary Sir John.
Yeah.
What painting kwan wo bre na Sir John e kamu wo Tamale Sports Stadium. Me na reho. General secretary ya Polafoko fai na Kwabena Japan engineer ono so fai ekosi di ekode ekoy but the person me chene say party no sunsum ne tudi ni pa bi achi a wo ye den oboa ka do beka do ye do beye sanity sunsum ne tudi but about me achi 2023 no me spiritualist and as no, you don't need to have spiritual eye and you just need to have political eye and political ears. Me who said that's what did about me. However, there no question and simply cost kiki a hard dream. Na me man said who 1998 kese ewo Sunyani. I read it. The 1998 dia koswa enei ubusa mpanifo no bekan say asema eso bi kan ya na eyi obi ya pa that time kwani NTB dan say ura GH Mensa en na contact GH Kufuor eko contest no ka che GH Kufuor say banchi dada ye mfa nkudwa so me ye no go how offensive is it say no possible any offensive but that time it was very offensive ebesi 2025 we umi ukase obi say that recall it and near my bonny course that time na ye de mekai me just so bitime nipa amwa kan ba miensa kan de mekai hu ese no na de bitime say de course no ye wie ye no engineer Kwabena Japan 98 virtually the campaign manager for Nana Akufo-Addo ye wie ye election ya je Akufo win ye 2000 elections je Akufo le win general elections one wa ye the press secretary Kwabena Japan, who was virtually the campaign manager for the Nana Akufo-Addo. And one when Attorney General, Nana Akufo-Addo. Minya, key positions. So one trust will be. Se nipa kono ni buo mapamam. Se wonso ni buo mapamano. Se woni ni mujidie and believe in his competencies and in the discipline and then the so we trustworthy mawa wontimi finance o general secretary. Se be brother asa, omo koye exams. And I could break Japan with first and I'm quite exams and I'm quite common entrance. And I was what I want to say is before that Jolly Kung for airpoint to Kwabena Japan. So man quite exam. Yeah, I saw be our application, but I'm on quite interview, I'm quite exams. But President for saw something good in Kwabena Japan. Second 98. 98 Kwabena Japan. ADD President Kufuor then candidate Kufuor I can't say ya chrenwa. Do you think Senka 2000 elections now President Kufuor winning and Kwabena Japan? Sekara na Akufo-Addo emma na no tra ni nua panyin Jolly Kufuor ke kan sem basa to no so a. Do you think he say no matter how competent Nana Akufo-Addo was, no matter how overly qualified Nekufuado was. Kufuor was not under any obligation. Yeah. He was not under any compulsion to make Nekufuado as the friend is saying Attorney General. Mebwa. Why the better in BB? Why for the Nekufuado
president? You're not president.
Why for the Nekufuado as Attorney General? Ubetima kasaka but enkusiaga. But no would you deal with Nekufuado me say one nako contest. But Nekufuado answered that man and wanta. Politics mudie said the daughter of my chapel can I say ya and go for bema small jabs big akra but jabs no montomobo. Jab and your punch.
Yeah.
Jab and your punch. So we shall boxing now. We shall know why you say akra what kitty aha or money jab say ya no is always your encounter. By the same 4 jabs now your punches. Huh? And go for convert or more jabs no to punches. Knockout, and say knockout. And go for 10 jabs to punches and no more below the belt. But I said no more hit below the belt. Yeah, careful. You be 31st no. Now if including even the winner, no money at the ICU. Intensive care unit. No muda kolibu. Because look, anyhow you look at it, and why anyhow you look at it, no. The moment you be back as a person contest as flag bearer, no, Edian want to support peace. But I'm a move on me, I want to support peace. Or I'm looking at Japan want to support peace. Dr. Bray Champion will support base. Engineer Kobe Japan will support base. Dr. Or say your Duchum or second Kufo one support base. Inti, why are you careful? Now, Bob punches after punch, you jabs now about bear punches and about below the belt. Yeah, Mr. No, see you. Why the bakery party in the Ako? He has seen it all. There's nothing in politics in Ghana. Then I for doing. And what friend almost say, you business like breakfast. You may dim come money and share a holiday and penny come ubi any coma a course or ever. By me, Jiddy say a party unity until more years are dear. Until Omupia Bayano. Naka we in expect to say, Kasa because what bunting and yadino a baye de cross ama and fampa permanent timu when you emma. But still now, a woman, I'll continue to urge the former president, President Kufuor, and Nekufuado say, Omunkosono Nkansah. You're launching Patriotic Institute, Accra, party headquarters. President Kufuor ne buy as guest speaker, and then Papa ne Kasaima. Papa Kufuor. Was say, baby, Massa Babak was say, ye kukumasi. If you basim any fracra eku kumase was say because him the city so ehun hia so be pemasem yeah ehun hia so be madamfo na mom ye nyina ye go what me tell you say ye bedu kumase safely enti semete won china me wo say uko bie glass wa bonu a ese me stop because ye ntimi nu kumase asomdwe mu yeah sanity. And you'll be who has will be happy will be asem and who has a bear namfo but you ultimately go and say a party vehicle back in your team if you better crank then the ultimate is power kakra you know bit my support here never got to me the free and this is because independent don't say MPP better managers of the economy and you know say am why you am to me am ma na disappointed Ghana for ni ho. President Kufuor was saying, what see, who party? Was say, yeah, so they see a boy, a brabon, who is engineer, who is a medical doctor, where back, wow back, who beat to gate, was often watchman and our security, one won't young, the room you know, and Kwano will be 18 years and above. Ye Kotua bar, and the panel to get a woo just a woman, Okuta 8 votes. Wow, we engineer no. Why a medical doctor now would also a middle class person we are elite no we're back ubabako ubano kwe because aku school abrochiri na kemu mi no pay it akwe 8 against 2 when be determine who becomes the leader who governs the country one mo cha bonten no ya wujiri se wumu wo mo no eti afa buoma wo bia look politics political party ehia obia numbers to the extent say flag bearer kura mpo vote e ba akopedie na wo bia odi 18 years won't you tax that one also no vote 1 ye count to one vote no the flag bearer you vote as 1 dia ye fe bu man ho nim outside the nim inside the sinim hwe business abawia senia de nyina eto bia nsadwase eto bia nsadwase boy titi wono mo na adwumba baba kutim ebawe tim se no mo ka bo se ba ko se wo de wabodam waso de wabodam waso de wuni de make no afomo kona na odi hu nkomo abedi be 2 weeks na wasa abo ade no so biem afo de waso obi abodam no wonso ja ase wo ka di enwi hu yi ebia be agwa bo se bosumi nsia achi no ba ko se de yen fa buku ne ntro what I say afo mba hwe dream ni se netie but sika we fa me ko no we oh yin ba ko no wa se no ye ne ka obiti ne kakra de aba ne yen hwe sa bo wa se ne ko ye be wi akire no na adwuma no eso chen dia wo first na adwene bari team and do the supporting do this sika ko be so mu no na adwene po outgrow them na se me ko sort pon baby at UGCC me pictures no wa me ba cho sort pon ho na at UGCC MPP grassroots MPP root ye Tracy e kopie selfie ho me ba cho selfie no na di president in the name of MPP da selfie no omomma abusuafo no selfie no musa tie no abusuafo na wo pa grant ho ahwane mu no party ni ema position mo kai omana do they make noise papa die papa mem papa me say bi anti bi tie me mem papa no teacher we film ma me so ma me so teacher ma me do da so tias me take at say at the time I was secondary school me papa enipa na wonimu na ye kase ni mu odu ya ni position so pa wo Ghana no eba na regional director of education eba na regional director of education but I can tell you say Drew baby me started through MPP Quantino at least meaning president Kwaku send Kwaku no hu ni me but about me send the message or respond to me frame me it is nka papa ti ase na ekene ne beji say me metimi akosoro it is a one wote political party na mo ye 5 na say Drew baby na akwakoye 2 million na ma woni nyi se ye danyame ase se dua baketo na ye dua ye no en ababaye onyina ababaye odum tree ene si ho ena eso nuaba na obi atibidi ma woni nyi don't call them strangers, don't call them outsiders. Latter day saint ye kwa po ya sorry latter day saint one on vote ye back wa wote ya of this guys also vote ye back. It doesn't mean say se me MPP ni na metisi abonte no bi se ye se esedin ketia ni wo fa se ni na me kwa campaign na me hu esedin ketia wo fa se ma me campaign nje na na onumpa do ye NDC card bearer member. I still have to talk to the person and seek to convince him why be better managers into what join MPP na wo bam hia maka se wo twia wo ye hoho na mbe se me chene se bi ji wo jimi ana say my me con man as my dada no say me yes say me here na mu wakakra o man magi to me na magi to me wie say de what na crocodile so now would nature so wie say power so first one no po sanity my yin for as outsiders. In fact, if you ask a in terms of development, the whole world baby anko for countries need develop be brain na most often than not any time ya ho ni develop kro no catch am say me boa very true ya ho omo ani breed na ya no Ghana so dey ka say investors me pa cho say investors ya mo ya yokofo anasa asonafo na chani eka foreign direct investment you say you hear say e kofo kakra bi sipa na ho akire ya no omisia no mo ya ekon na fo say that to kwan yes of course and there me no ka say KKD yes ya appointing as ambassadors de Caribbeans Caribbeans obejina ni o penije ne sa na Caribbeans oh eti say yes na e mante ne mabawa na mo party no ma say na e wa hoden say tari posters enko fu dua nko ese mfro ka nko campaign na emma campaign ye dema wo because okoka chi
you so yeah that chi bi no crowd one shot you recognize it
apart for that chi bi no nipa na wo be share na bontin no say virtual Ghana nyina ya cosmopolitan area cosmopolitan country sisi ya highway opa ye nyina bontin ha na ye share enipa 5 enipa 5 share ene kwa na no pass BC 20 years ago me born and bred Kumasi ni 20 years ago na edin say obehia obi wo baabi na woni ne kasa na koye brofo kasa it doesn't mean say yente brofo yete brofo but then ene me ba me cha obi a me cha good morning ya me ka twi a abrante de brofo na eto ame so na afana me hwe de nim say me ka brofo ene today eti bi sesa and comrade mi so paye mpanyin anim ya na ema nipa 5 emetwam 5 pe obo ho asantefo egom obo so obeka asante kronkron a kire babu sampa so ofrimfa obete bibo so ofri enti nyai sa ne ma hoho na senisen emwa enkire eye primitive thinking emwa party mpuntu de bi so no na maybe so a sa asori semoni ade no ehu hia ba party no enya roman fo ne ko yi leader enya roman fo enya methodist fo ne ko yi leader na emum no political party wo ideology ya e so hia wo bia we visionary bit ma drive that ideology no to a certain level ye no ni hia enya asori awoko enya ne elder wo ye Wajase and I say one kwa sorry. And they arguably the greatest city in the world. Say New York. New York in the Pano Chrono. Do what be winning and saying? What do you say?
34, I think it's 34, yeah.
We need 14. What's everything? What you're Muslim,
yeah.
By the time when yes, and American citizenship. I think about 7 years ago. And when you're American citizenship, as to New York, 1 million horses sing. And back one in a contest on a former mayor Kumo, a very popular person.
Why are your roots?
Yes,
our roots.
One cannot perform. But New Yorkers need to say, Sir Brantiano. He mirrors the aspirations. Jomo Peno, Umu Sir Brantian beat me, I'm a Mossack. It is adding the infamous. You shouldn't track record and say, yeah, when you wear basa, when the criminal records be, they don't care about Asarako. Say, Kaka, Asarako, the uncle winnie, because Muslims are not in the majority in New York.
Yeah,
Echo winnie. It no sorry, that say, I can't say, yeah. And I can just say, yeah, he says, Pentecost for some of the doors. According to report, yeah, and a Methodist for any year home. Yeah.
Pentecost for some of the doors.
Pentecost for some of the doors. Almost some more numbers. And I can go for Pentecost in the Queen. Because a bar sorry no more crown pona. Yes, I teach him.
Yeah.
And Krabosumus, yes, I teach him. It will end a child say, a whom, yeah. You only need a leader. Do betim actually say what your MPP ni. Nema walk no MPP say ni adwenti. E hu ni hia. Enye na so ra woko. Enye bebe we free. Minua chieftaincy disputes e wo Ghana. Enye asengeto wu. Na obi say Dr. Baumia eye e friend say mampusi ni. Ena mampusi fo ni kusasi fo nyantokwa. Mampusi fo ni kusasi fo nyantokwa nti Dr. Baumia nti me president. Milia minim ya wuwen na what say Kwaku chieftaincy dispute to BSC mountains another last 2 years na that last year antibi ya na me say antibi
Debbie
but ebi bai ebi abananse ya wo hwe pictures ni ayi na ya and into because you and you want so wow who say who free Kwaku and then the chieftaincy dispute for it was we any say to abama man pussy for and ne kusasi for mu Ghana voter register no mu yedo do saying na when the catcher will say and to call mu kunti man pussy ni into na ba ema kusasi ni into na ba MPP MPP in fact ɛsoro hɔ ne deɛ ɛnam sɛ saa ntɔ hɔ no mu firi ya hɔ no mo te ne ntɔkwa den na ba so nti no kusasifoɔ anto aba ma NDC and NDC Mampus for so anto. However, ye wo kusasifoɔ ɛwɔ MPP mu a na Akufo-Addo kwa mo ministerial positions. What I say, say Hanan we kusasi ni. In fact, Honorable Fatima Abubakar we kusasi ni o. One na Akufo-Addo the Kasama forces say we former information minister or support Dr. Mamun Bawumia adwuma so ye bia de ma Dr. Mamun Bawumia no wo ye enne wo da so ye. One car say we kusasi ni and that Dr. Bawumia Mampusi ni enu nti no won to na ba ema no sadia no mesiminia yemfanto nchen Ghana few places na and chieftaincy issues in home few places baby bebre wo hinem na se hwe ekropon na se mbetwe odwura kwae wo hema asoretia even though no wo hema no yes omo chese woni sa mandate no wo hema asoretia ensema akoso wo Ghana e chieftaincy yi no ye manen so ho enye no be determine who becomes the president or flag bearer of the party. Just believe in the person, package the person, support the person genuinely. Udinachi say obom pesa da wo ye bia no be wini ba menya udinachi obom pesa ko feli na next time maba 2024 elections sad ni because midinachi as me bomb pesa wonwe na me maba but ya na control for be ya na machi na wacho no 9 no 10 o so much was mo se no 9 no 10 sanity.
But go on. With a year Dr. Bawumia and the Arabia, maybe once I want to say, and I say, who say, AB or Dona who deserves a so give another chance. The detractors to be Edam normal Ekika and on no crown eye or so economic messiah no buy nature's economy no crown ya shada a ye aircro or more Casa no Dana Obeka Ediatro Waka a year religious at TFU with economic and I buy cry who shade Dana catches half.
You see, a yana mempesa you can't begrudge them much. But Ubia were well exposed. Somebody who should know better. Now we use this hard in detail about me. Yen the money hard because I'm a money did be in Nimsi the city. Ubana Jenny so we see will be a year head of economic management team. And Untino economy bibia shanasi sanity ana. Sanity. It me pacho. So is somebody telling me say friend is saying President Mahama we need EMT Obi other na economic figures here ya virtually be a kama no other no modis makasa to force finance minister na other nka say omu EMT na aye ya say finance minister positive say finance minister negative so finance minister bonzo so am say governor dollar ya eba for me what's the governor they were fans and it is a Dr. Bawumia kwa they were octopus Dr. Bawumia governor Dr. Bawumia finance minister Dr. Bawumia agric minister we trade minister we BBR but I think Dr. Bawumia should take all those things in his rights say e be kire say nkofu wogidi woni musi bi bitima na mabibiri EMT no finance insurance ministers no ma omo minister omo na so mo explain on say there ya ko EMT yi in fact EMT no advisory body yeah exactly even cabinet krompo advisory body to the president even cabinet na constitution they say there should be a cabinet with so numbers no advisory body to the president. Cabinet cannot dictate to the president. Constitution mandated the vice president. First they back up. First they say chairman of a police council. But do you remember say a banner person for hormone? Not for a president. Not vice president. Any chairman of police council. So do size and that's will be okay, yeah, say I tell for but
police council.
Yes.
That time that's how you know it.
What I see. Enti the president beka say ye no. Na waye. Wo di adwen bi ba. Wo de to wo beka che president. President de hwe na ebi eto na sum na odiri se obeya. Obeteka say wo koy na koye. Obeteka so kisa de fama we say no wonye. Ye no mpo no wo credit na wo beje kura mpo no wontimi nyina ma obo. Because president ama okwan a enka wanye. President ama okwan a enka wanye. Na e-levy ba. Minim obi obetima aka na bonten say Dr. Bawumia no support e-levy.
Daddy.
But wontimi ma bonten. Say we part of the government. Emejina bonten to bo nko park so park no so gina so bi. Wontimi meye. Eto da no bi aka. Oh, na ne say na wo mpede a ene adena e friend say adena one
which is not possible.
Bema ayi ni chop money. Obejina ko di fufu. Eso da na yere ne maso obi amukondo banku. Obedi ni saa. Aje se bema we dictator. I say bema na would nim nyansa saa. And now once the one yere ne masa we ni pa. And I was say change na me na me chop money ntino. Mama banku ni ye fe say fufu ni abankwan. This a bema enti eneme bo hono ma when you are part of the collective na. Wonti mejina wabonten aha say na mempe na ma resign we na mempe na ma president and as a president so President Mahama we has 57%. Yani aya anto abama no is not our president. Ya free Ghana. I just say bia adibia wuti se be a very very inimical. Okay? In the interest of nation ade we die
a ball
man ade we die a crime. This is we pa die. To the bia e do that level. But e-levy, even though na so na ha adwen die, but na ye ati we hwe no kwapo no na ye ati na bi na ye lesser evil kakra da beba na ye duru na bi na ye hia just be a course no buza se ke de ko 1% a kagana for kian reject it. What I see it fundamentally no na ka e-levy no ibe na kekofo eni hu eyikese but ni na so ye de ba about the communication around it. Na me busa say what jade ba we say 1.75 million 1.75 crowd up ko Ken University na kachi obi say oh man 100 cedis and 1000 cedis on calculate 1.75% on it na yi free bo bro bebre it because say sad dey no technical knockout it mo fan start one yende ka ne calculation ne kura mpone ke beye ka etika ye kwa ye tiase no na ka eku na ni na VAT start say VAT na de kumi preko ba you kumi preko demonstration bad I think say 12.5% as I say and even I think 15 or so me sha ayi no and no mo kun hu kokko ba kom na ku faro mo yes preko bo betazan and no mo tisi abontin se kumi preko omo ye ya no asebe de siye rollins aban wan to VAT anwu what is so? And they Yamusa Yahu say, said the VAT estate, you know, say rate, and that's what that almost 100% increment.
Yeah.
Say Kakra, you're complaining, and Obi VAT won't complain is a fair because we are used to it now. It is a trouble, Kakra, a true baby, then finance minister. First Kedufrata. Now I didn't call your communication when enquiry into no. Metism so or Kuku say okuchi chirim kufodu anu so akoyan so akwetena hotel hotel yakubu dwa ya che say ye be chirim emfa by the time am free home bra no na wasa ko senkofo kura bufu enti ene mani bo hono ma won mo ye say enna say economy na nko ya wo de se Dr. Bawumia no omunyai because they are not being fair to the facts yes aneti Dr. Bawumia do betima ye obeye na finance nsa don't forget say na emu ho Dr. Addison e kan say be say so percent ko de dollar no e ba 8 cedis a e ko de be ba so kai
I don't know 10 cedis okay 8 cedis
and it was true e ko betimi dia ba
e di akira ba
but next time MP be ba mu no so betimi da ba 6 a omo family 6 hwe omo de ba 6 a eviase nshi Amagedon Emma nkumu bi ba o mane ntete mpansam
eno na NDC ye
eno ne nei NDC ye sese no o ma wo seed no lagatin what ateda unim kubu
oh
ate no atede no honya de no bad boys no tutukro ho no omo de yibi no de asisem de netie anwea no de asisem ma no masili na atede mo ye du eto odisi apalo so a atebi abebeka ne bia obetofom ya hye da duru ya won mpanie what you say but eventually ye bechew na emom no Ghana need ye odwe ne Ghanaian no odwe ne wo. The Ghanaian voter is thinking about today. MPP we think about tomorrow. But yenya dey be fan real politic. Yenya dey be fan real politic. Say MPP yantie sa the mean of real politic ni yantie asia ye benya problem. Real politic ni say enema wugidi say eye papa. Yes ka we ye pa no. Eto bia ese wugegu kakra. That's the meaning of real politics. In fact, even ethics, and never born my ethically no, but real politics will tell you, say no, and so low standards in the kakana way. And yes, sir, we have problem. It's what be I say, my typical example of real politics. Say, yeah, we free movement. Nigeria ni betimi aba, Burkina Faso betimi aba, Mali ni betimi aba. But yet one must see na oyankofo yi ba, omu be wia niema, omba mu ku yankofo, omu yese ya. One day we have to stand up and say, despite the existence of all ECOWAS protocols, adibi yempeni. That's real politics. Yeah, Obeka so ECOWAS become by sanctions, but forget about the sanctions. Yes, we are doing the interest of your citizens. That's real politics. And the Addison, Dr. Addison, as more kind, you should have done that. Sieba.
Because no the consequences no.
Consequences in the budget you refuse them.
Every another who's a challenge.
Me say, and I'm telling you, say in politics, yeah, numbers in here 2 million here day. I say use real politics because MPP are doing no a dream pa. But when we say I can more dream pa na. And this I don't know you be a real politics. Catholic Bishop Conference for catch say Omusia President Mahama. I will galamse. Omo catch President Mahama say Yensu say, Yasa say, Yensu your forest say, almost omo catch President Mahama, do can is who here sika. Can any MPP leader say this to the Catholic Bishop Conference? No. MPP leader Bia obey the MPP as President Biano. One yes, I join President Mahama Adriano, but President Mahama can yet to know.
Let me on them.
It's so why can't we also do the same? That's real politics. Going forward, you know, you see, your ideology in the end means a son. But how we do politics must change as a political party. How we communicate must change as a political party. How we select people, how we appoint people must change as a political party. I just had a problem, Timbia.
Mate, go on. I open your trader, watch a crab in the idea, but also what for better now change. Hey, what for Quasiche, I bet now change. Eti mento ade ke to abina yentwa eye dwumadie so we dey Gordon Asari Bediako and me engage no e studio ha no be na ayubre Gordon Asari Bediako is with a movement TV your sister station at Ewo Accra na ebrebi ababesne ko obe Gordon Asari Bediako na edino ete eye crusading guide newspaper no emu na say Gordon Asari Bediako dodo na e friend Gordon and yede no twetwe nkomo e wa hase na me bench kitwa bi na mento ade na yento adwumade no so kivo hot pepper besro bobodia se obekwa akope bi e kira kwan na kivo boko show what ye aduane se bi stew na se enkwan bi na wo ya kivo hot pepper e maduane no eye de say be a stew and answer enquire time bia duani bia ohia meko bia no se say yes be bia fast and don't make am for a kivo hot pepper ediamau and there ayubre FDA for agia to it who you be the year duani amepacho woni problem bia shedding so ema me a kivo hot pepper and as a kivo bokosho na Exodus moringa de dandelion capsules me pacha we hypertensive and as ABS chire ebia mujabros wo yare bi na ejejewa bobodia se won sabeka Exodus moringa and afi dandelion capsules no ebi me kanfo ni mienu nyina ede ama ene ayumre we are Exodus moringa capsules now we are Exodus dandelion capsules we use ni bienu eboma me pacho se mujabros wo yare se chire yare e mani nyina timpa form say obi be se hu na ba form kra enti herbal shop bia bekomo pharmacy bia bekomo bia kasa wo de wo pe Exodus moringa and a dandelion capsules a buama immune system no bibia ya kama moja no di umu afru sade kama enti kona kope bia chira kwan obatumi afra homa trofo so number is 0544 447 033 0544 447 033 and I'll be to be after 0537 456 665 0537 456 665 o fresh wa omo ebejoso produce live band weekend and ye remi weekend na ye remi na weekend so de edu bia weekend na just to be pressure up and down and so to be relax your soul na say music is food for the soul weekend you be here you and you might say to say a river with you na ama pressure na aba form na just all relax and you know jibi gumasu on for could I do live band and a beboyum not just what tear you at their relaxing na kona kofa and idea my culture na watching you know say okay last minute why sha now actual but then but the ayat numbers no ebema na wa from sisia fe na kubuno nsia ebia no china a wedding ceremony na ebia naming ceremony ebia na ye bi na ba fie no bia de ohwam a wa fresh live band so bi ko fire there omo ye hot cake pa ubatu from ahomatrofo so number is 0246 627 418 0246 627 418 and also between from 0242 119447 0242 119447 Kunadus live band Bushen Haya ena omo ewo na me for we infama na me call mental komono say ye Kitima Herbal Center the slow eye namu yare boni bia tete ubiaro se wodin kwa dia fo ani kire eye Kitima Herbal Center edin no eye Kitima Herbal Center eye KITIMA Herbal Center me pacho ensanchire ni omo eye no me se eye namu yare kwa dia fa woni ekire ho o last stop eno no me ni medra wa yusu me ni be baabi a wakro but eye namu yare boni kwa dia Kitima Herbal Center and it will last stop and ya nonko ebia kidney ho ensensem ebia liver ho ensensem wani eya oyabe eyefra ko intententem no mo ema wadru niema na atiegu widiedi ni nyina eye Kitima Herbal Center from our true so number is 0246 914 717 0246 914 717 o pomo chira kwan omo ewo sepase ye gaw kwan no so oduma sepase gaw career stretch no so onsabeka ye Kitima Herbal Center for ewo hodum teacher no so mame Dr. Kwasi abaha me manakwaba bagodon me yanko yedim kakra da actually member doctor wo fa bet down chei
say omo na pay sites no enti no so wuti o ma na what times kakra no wati na wa fa adwe kakra wo mu a say the music sa ho brase mu no yeah
bagodon when you break kakra no mention other matters in the course of the week you know be aircraft by me say aircraft soldier for the by stampede no by Galamsey so yes joint military the police patrol and abo ekochicheche nkofo bi wo baby and I say Dr. Gideon Buaku dey release me aba but budget no Eddie I don't know I be person go budget at all is force no
question refer amalgamated question ko bibia wo maragwa
etie bia o pick no ebu ne wey na
mamen ko soldier for no ko bo como for bozepu shidie na
that okay that shidie mo sa shidie mo ko afo eye kuma se de no mo ekoye
o manyade na ye hia no democracy e say catch mo say do mo ye no soldier for nti mechanism misplaced aggression misplaced aggression sa utifie na obi asoma akora say o mefa wade na unin bakro no na akora na wakotu oni asiru akohwe no na ni bakro hu na wacha na watwam omo ko di sanse hu no ya omo bu sojafo no eye friend say Galamsey nkoso hene Collins Dauda ene Ebeneza Kwaku ado omo na ma sa de ne course e de sojafo no wa adwe wa hoden a omo ko che sankofo no innocent souls asat enrechi anopa na yese o machi nipa 1050 edo be gu cells kumasi many info li bi kasa o mo say o mo hono mo a na yese munyi nkofo we ngum 50 munyi nkofo we ngum 100 munyi nkofo we ngum 70 and one no mesri ye nyaade sa eni pomo mo ye sa no mo ye mienu Galamsey nkoso hene Collins Dauda eni Ebeneza Kwaku ado o mo na yeye o mo ji atum se o mo na man o mo na because senka Ebeneza Kwaku ado wa amfa nipa be 15 no anko police anko nine was follow ho led by Kanabua so afoma anko a e Kyeremanteng na ko mo hye dem ni efie no ho na ke don beba omne ko so saade no it is a Ghana ban and if President Mahama commander in chief of Ghana Armed Forces and the soldier for koyeye President Mahama na mo koyeye wa sheda amoma ko butima mufuo President Mahama sheda o and no soldier for mo ko hwe wo mo ya areho so far as see you and this Galamsey campaigns no ya hu 4 Joseph Yamin and this national organizer according to first Attorney General why Galamsey Attorney General issue statement me will be was say start or say here say and confirm that kind of mountain and no more investigations and national security for also share that they too also say Joseph Yamin ye Galamsey enti no report to Joseph Yamin e dey ma yoku for some months no and the NDC Deputy National Vice Chairman Abanga Yakubu Yano so di ka ho. These are the kingpins and the two we abeka ho so was a video ni bi koleza na video mu obi wase na nano
transformer no
yes o jana nano mo ni mo no ka che na nano me Collins Dauda me na minimu senkofo Galamsey wo ha na nkania no almost so a man can now den ba form and I me concrete ko catch then from a furniture energy minister Dr. Matupuku Prempe as a responsible energy minister o colleague MP ba wo say mikromu no ho epese ehye nkania no ahoden wo form a de na be se transformer ni be ho ma o de be ma no and that's what Matupuku Prempe did it is Dr. Matupuku Prempe de ma wo adwen pa ne say ni
also
krom ebe shi do mpesa ade no etije ko Collins Dauda kan o video no say wo je ni nyina no ni say Galamsey fuo nti wo je wie so se nananom me je wie me say ko si bebe Galamsey nananom ma ye wie a obada ka che me say me mpe Galamsey nkoso ya no ntira ya bon Galamsey nkoso hene no Galamsey nkoso hene Collins Dauda se soja fo je so mo ho ode a o mo kwachi Collins Dauda o mo ho ode a o mo kwachi Ebeneza Kwaku ado omo na amadi akwakosi na soja fo nkunu asesen Ghana na asoma wo say yenkohwe sa nima wi na emrantie look soja mu no sa rank ro mo hodin sa colonel for mo hodin omo ya well trained omo hodin pa omo ya emrantie pa etu ogro ho a omo ya maji ko mbedi ewu an ko mbedi ewu but they be very professional. And I could see we President Mahama should be held responsible directly. Dia koso hono ya yakobo on one way. Say Kumo 4 person will blame Obia, they should blame President Mahama, not the soldiers. He sent them. And yes, he sent them. Commander in Chief of Ghana Armed Forces. And I am here.
No.
Adia koso. Ghana yedi ebusani nhwamo. Ghana yedi ebusani nhwamo. Say yatina ho modern day Ghana 21st century. Na ye pe soja fo na America go fon ko soja. Russia go fon ko soja. Ye hu we bi. Na ya man omunyina ba bego be bia wiase dream. Eti wo mo database se mo be use index number so say alphabetical order number yo say den yo enipa 100 mbeti marketer for them ma edia ma frɛ wom she stampede yi enipa moroso ya nyanya aba obi ahu bebia won fa run helter skelter ubewu me ya say enipa ekɔ nsia kɔse yense dom ommekoma o man Ghana na omawu na nyanwanwa so ema nsia eye den kura itumi ko ema nsia hu kakra ye kwanum mai sade ni nsi biem.
And I think, sir, but is it the interior minister say, oh, you be more slots and now say, you know, ABI
almost a bino.
She said, you're more trash that called November 17. I say, I was your phone.
I did be no be a bit to me a compensate with the loss. I would be a shiny babao. If you are co-university Navy, you are secondary school, was Shannon. I'm what be do say, what kind of fear say, may a quaba. Afi me kwa ba no wati message a enye se ka akwanhia ojina lie mu se ni se re pinche ba wo eya ya ready never again and as I be say CBM President Mahama so oduabu. Where is the defense minister?
No you need
che baby adri on security of this country and this 10 years ago mene obi anu wo ye in charge of security na na kufu at the time edin komobi o catch up the warden wo hwe said ye Burkina Faso Mali etutrafo na ababegu holmo no ompeso mba Ghana na ayehu to the extent say wo ye head various security security heads security institutions no wo Mali ni Burkina Faso ni ade no Cote d'Ivoire no what can you believe we say the omoyerenom omoyerenom birthday kura na me wo nti duru birthday I just am wish some happy birthday. I didn't say for good neighborliness. Say be your meeting no makasa. Now say that we afraid defense minister will come ho no we nya na won na kasa o si masa and then my ekosu no o ayonkofa kesi ba bedom mutem. But 10 years ago who needed this? But a bedru baby a Ghana security na yehu amayen. Eti afie ni defense minister ha ukof up uka say finance minister or act as a defense minister. How do we superhuman? Finance minister
on the workload that
WONTUMI no saka this one act as defense minister for about 3 months. And you fail. President Mahama should take the security of this country serious. What point will be? It won't trust will be apart from Manebwama. One trust will be there be a broso.
Member be prepare a war party.
Oh, there be a broso. Never be hold more bit in my year, 1 year in them. So that say when the year fully responsible. Because defense minister, deputy defense minister, obi all deputy position be WONTUMI yes it is a substantive minister. Because in fact, more swear difference room.
Okay.
Substantive minister, why I was swear, to now swear no, a new deputy difference room. It won't or WONTUMI yes the war, you know, and they said one day the deputy never Bujajan fear. I got maybe Bujajan deputy defense minister. Aye, interesting. Bujajan deputy defense minister.
Yes, for a deputy defense minister.
Oh, the commander the for. You see, President Mahama, minister was taking Ghana for. Bujajan as deputy defense minister, woman at the forefront, but no defense.
They want to say
woman at the forefront, but no defense. So, okay, the black as foreign affairs minister common at the forefront. Common at the forefront. Any day, anytime, man at the forefront. But lying minister is a liar like Okujoto Ablakwa. Now money here foreign affairs minister. Eti any foreign affairs ministry na Victor Beho minister no.
Yeah.
Eti Victor Beho position wo die no. Eno na Ablakwa die.
Debi.
Eti ha
ko Ablakwa die.
Debi me.
Ablakwa bom.
Ya lower die no. In fact, it told the bia university it take us a lowering standards. Do be bia no aye bi. Ya lower standards no.
Ablakwa as foreign affairs minister.
Enfata. Message Victor Beho position occupy no. And Ablakwa occupy. Nana adodan Kwaku ado position ebi
Shali
Hana tete
ayokobo twedum
one the meaning we issue ntimi money meaning we issue adia wo year of foreign affairs minister when she was the minister na ho
but si je
me twa so sa enti uti the make can say enti Victor Beho position no kutan enie Nana Kwaku ado position no kutan enie Hana tete position no kutan any and Hana tete anywhere any day any time or represent Ghana this animunyam ewo ho ne kasa no kama ebu wom o me mana beti so na we wa hompo wa se parachute obetu minia David.
All right, abusuafo eno NHS sabe catch us on kind of pepepe odo on share the party member say bia we ye be party ni enti say oye adwuma no wanye no be catch them so oyade we see the pain enti you see how genuine oye that's a god on for you. Go on. Finally your budget no at your take on the year end budget presentation by
unfortunately me say that money tax e bia nwumre me say that nya time okay na kakra matia ne se wo say e-levy so umatwa e-levy wo say e-levy no mutwa mu no enya nsunsanso bia ewo Ghana revenue generation obwa because umutwa e-levy mu no omo de na mafoforo be si anan aminu mesra wo we dem mesra wo pa say woti hey wontumi multimedia yetwa wo ka ebia weekend wakwa ye MCB obabi na wo so money kakra brew obi so kakra dia brew wo ba wie no bosome wo kika bom a this amount of money afa MC ni unya biem. How on earth can you tell me say sika unya no bosome bia no esonti MC kana eba
straight away swat
MC ni unya biem na emura fe de wo ye advert it is say no hono ma wakwakoye ambassador brand ambassador bi it is kind of babishim. So don't lie to us say sa MC adwuma na wuja ye no usika ne so anti eso ti na emom no adefo fra babishim adefo fra babishim me pacho ma me ti ade ba ko bishemu a ehu otofu wela otofu 1 liter 1 cedi ne daso me pacho omo man yetua sa ade no 84 liters yeah 1 gallon no utwa 4 cedis 50 pesos eso ten your first revenue akebenya free e-levy mu more than 10 times. What is he telling us? He's a liar. Obwa etima make say e-levy no look but about me aka so bo betwa e-levy mu so kind but it doesn't mean say a call for people from Bisham. He was talking about other means of generating revenue. Etikache say e-levy na me ye no ye twam na mum other sources of generating revenue and these are the sources. But no waka now beka say affecting na oboa because e-levy nkwanska na edema ye no wo hwe revenue kwan say bia GDP na look ye no kwa about 2%. Eti ekieni can't mean share workers in Boka. But he said 1 gallon be 4 cedis 50 pesos. That is where he is finding solace. It one kind of crunch. Big push almost saying
big push or say or the
24-hour economy. And then what they are saying? What can I say?
110 million cedis.
110 million cedis. Omuwa say omu have $4 billion. Almost omu have $4 billion. And the year first say 24-hour economy. Women 110 million Ghana cedis. What the bad is my saying? Omu could this cano. because enkahu won't. Moreover, minia 24-hour economy a phantom.
Yeah.
A phantom. Because a phantom a year. Some might be 24-hour economy that's all. I was Ghana da. But our sectors be me free commercial cheti me nim sisi asem no commercial najo e bia 11 p na me type ya me nim bebe mako pompino but enkra me tie no anajo 1 am 2 am me type ya na say me koya minimum babe 7 places for organizers.
Oh yeah, eba towards say bia minimum for eba opoku are hodum be ni sa stretch those no we be yin
na make no etu benya. So that is 24-hour economy. What are they telling us? The most comprehensive document on 24-hour economy in the world is Sydney, not the whole of Australia. Sydney as a city, not the whole of Australia. Sydney as a city. And number some year be a 24-hour economy. Say be buses be tramu say say. In fact, the most busiest center. We are Times Square. New York.
Okay.
Na mencha de makohoda. But oko Times Square. About 11 p.m. na one. And then ma wu na kitu ebi. Business wo kitu ebi. En sanwie. A movie share. Asa wo bra. Aduane tom. Busa won say Times Square. Banks wo holum a ewiale wo holum no edwuma ye adwuma na anya adwuma boutique just na of abodi no just ko boda ho this what the ATM boutiques keke boutiques akese a what Times Square ho no we say adwuma ye adwuma omunye adwuma in fact food centers be bre kwampo no anadwomo pon me matna Koyuki na kwashe omo shopping mall, the biggest shopping mall in Europe, Westfield Mall. Kole kwashe omo pon 9:30 p.m. The biggest shopping mall in Europe, UK 9:30 and I don't know mapon. Makoba bia makofa train, me no bi chese. Was say yanka ye ho a that train no last train no around 11:45. Last train. It's yanka ya hun yankofro ye dimika ga what day you do hold my just a minute na di na ebe pon na kofo dimika. That was the last train in the UK cross central London. So they should
enye bibia na
24-hour economy. But unfortunately me ka asabere se de geta kan mo ya world na adwuma etino mo nya adwuma wi anya nopa. And the burger for Musidang Wagani, and you room Musidano, new site. It to Boganaba was in Migate, Bassam Coches the city. What does the master made the Mission Crom, Mage Manager? It's a Bonajo Bay 9:30. Siami will coach a chiho baby, Nayankwaka Beko. First question for Sue. Was the 24-hour economy, and one say, you better on white China. And then I was in the moment there was a best stimulating. How do you stimulate the consumption of watching late in the night? It's already I say Banajo 1 a.m. the whole man no be down window watch with the Maconesio will any woman will an emre macaroni will mow and away. Why? And we allow them to run away with murder. You're not now one more the MPP car say Yantua about 31st. Yantulin terminal. Nako pombe koswe shawomo. Because I was here to Sabanivian tentem. Na pinche ni free party na bibia amra form. Na ye kasa in unison. Since when? And MPP voting ka say we kasa ni emiam, o kasa ni achew. Eti ye kwa demonstration. Etia abuse. Near quiet demonstration na MPP for age na bonting ADD atem say omonti access here could demonstrate that we have no moral right. MPP for all because presidential primacy but betwem eti NDC for the budget no omaye Matis also ba be new expressway. Unu be befa. Esi be wa for dan kra ne ade ade. E kanya hwe. Ye be new expressway ne bit ma ye ne ntamo dia. Me nka me don't have an issue. But then na Akufo Addo start is wo ye. Na se me ba Kumasi. Me ba enyina mu side ho ba bi. Na traffic na ba pe so no bi ma ye say ye fa bomu kwan bi. Ye ko fa ho no na Akufo Addo na wa ye no sa bypass no. Ene ye fa so wan ni bi PhD. Ye nye sa kwan no. Sika ya akofom wo hol mo no. Say ye jai sa adwuma no to hol ma. Na go begu side ache. Expressway no se be ya no problem. But omunwe wi. So jo mahama anye expressway a entia ne hwe. After legacy be no obeja. Onu na adwe ne say Ghana for the 4 years. It will be 4 years. Where you? Who say the term where we? Term no end because nyame next year no internal yina bebo mu no ano odin e say de amman hama so julaza bra so kuta ne krante enya senketwa. Now John Mahama is looking at Tato Forsen. So we support na so ne nyina wo no ma jane dadwin. Eti ne baby a wo peaceful mind so be operate this year next year eti ne media MPP for me enka humum. Budget and no person matter say minority for a press conference. Ebia from Ebia send the feedback to their corner and they don't on bet kakra. But big push kusi sing. Was over ma and Masika am at the bank. Scasser on the buy. Agenda 111. The Akufo Addo the buy more than 120 factories in operation. Oh, by ya for me in modern day history, Ghana. That may be one of the most audacious policies ever. John Mahama was with trust one yet. Ghana front man can once a more. So we busy police on my factories. Now will be present be buyer was yen beam. Na Ghana for you. What the replace ya was what then go quanking kitting. Na sango quanking kitting no. What we are go. Watu nkoshona ne wadi waya na wakumari just say
nearly 245 million cities and the question project
enkosiaga ade obetima ya Ghana betimanya impact ebetenya impact of Ghana opa select ebia 5 poultry farms in each region Ashanti region yenim wo mom ye poultry farms mu hia emwa yebetam ebiom capacity num omo wasase ene adade physical coach all pass 5 per region na chese ska na ma wo mo ene benya so impact o na bremen kokọ 5 abramen kokọ 5 zwemo check we na kitigi na omo ya me koto anase me yeden na se ko me blas ade na nse kokọ yi first no na wokọ akọ ba ko ofia na obi anya bibi o se ye ko ba ko ofia enso obi a e ba so ko mienu oh it is that you see that enkoko policy no a retrogression. I am telling you a little mind a little thinking say enkoko nkete ni ama 5 10 say we yan he na ama akoko buo kitu e bi say kraman cage na esi ofitiri wo wi awo kotoma na say we yan dey and they are making projection say by next year by 2028 no na enkoko ayewe no Ghana no it should be about 70% of total consumption enya achievable with this policy of enkoko ngeti na so be launch back ewo Accra Hachu side ho na so to me ko be farms away poultry farm way poultry farm fia bi o me wa ka be fa ko twa poultry farm fia bi na President Mahama nsuo to na wa fa nsuo mu na chinesi so abe poultry farm fia bi wo se kokko kitengeti kwa asa ya mse ne adade omo ye wo ho pesika no fama with the 5 per region monitor wo mo ma veterinary debendebe no mo nko no mo na omo nye books no kama ni ye hwe schools no ba kwa manage ho ne mo local rice no omaka ba se ne beye admentiase se ye dua emo e wo man Ghana mu na ye school feeding program na ye to foreign rice in the feeding kwara no ye na mentiase da warehouse bebre silos ye ego bebre emo a ye dua no Ghana unless say entimi meet demand.
Okay.
It we have to ask the question of demand. In fact, you have to ask the question of demand. It will be about and I'm going to say go for one amount, but you can't see a ton so I never say the benato. You call a send off. Now you call or about to do hormone. Or about to do I hope it's for to be as I say. No to be as you are to be as I know to be as do hormone. No more local rice ni be hormone. You from make us a pebiato. Almost only like a dish of massy. Now, because I see it, it is you can't meet demand. Yeah, but Tom also, I just advance notice. What does it? And then, yes. What must I look at say? I go for jasmine rice or Ghana. I'm for free, ye ba. Men come go back, for ba. No be Dianwa. Ababe look at rice. It's in the young yenya hu ye say be say so hu kama ye from school for ye from hospitals they no there e was a ban no e make conscious effort say local rising ye bidi mate golden asari bedia ko ai me ye beda wase papa na ebi abema kwasi abema na de kakra bi na abono tofa ai because kwasi ebini to true yeah obeka kire Ghana for na
na me mo god na baso onu anti na me bae you call a program to me for ya me
and I'll say so on fire
oh where is my fire
where that's what I said that
when you're friendly oh yes yeah
that's a brand new devil no the no ma baso mo koso
but no me wako when you 1 minute Chief Justice
me call Wesley College me did 25 years anniversary and say me call Wesley College na me say school prefect and he did 25 anniversary yeah jina mo frɛ me say din na
question just a minute Chief Justice there no and the bruhaha e course wo branch me fear just a minute
Chief Justice Bafu Boni why mobo in fact wo be di kompolo didn't be more than 1 year no retirement minim have the conscience be ye no say your friend is o metenase na wo be empanam kofo ni be di asem a I don't know how he's going to feel. I'm not sure he's going to feel that comfortable. Say this is the first time Chief Justice Kafra Chief Justice to no swaba ababe majority decision na is also minor parliament nyina no en support e ho ne ha me ka Chief Justice die eko eba ko bie die chi do benya said disagreements bi beba even part of law kra no agree ba but when I yes I say bibinti MPP for yan to ban and me support the position of MPP. I don't think for me yet on principle it's not tidy. His nomination and approval is not tidy. And you know President Mahama and Woye. President Mahama no aboni trimo po position. So ba obey Chief Justice ready. It ready na emfa no do be bia na Justice Tokono. Enipa edana me hwe veti no. Me se nipa ekobra. Do bo nyom no. O kan asem no pa. Se me hwe TV na me hwe Justice Bafu Boni wote ho na nipa bi omwo na chemu news bureau judges na me hwe Justice Tokono wo call oye Chief Justice no okoto mpanifo bi ho and she thought say wa betum wo adwuma wono mu ye adwuma bibie ne o consult wo mo afedie yen set up committee ye nyina dia mo na masa kwotena so preside over that. Let me tell you we a judicial coup d'etat President Mahama why judicial coup d'etat now you see the hu ni say o de men kan wa actually make am but go down ya me sure to Wesley College and Wesley College 25 years and me say come that so teach mu say come assistant director of education and papa and you know it is annetie na Fred Seminia teaching am ko na boa me
that's correct
I shape me I shape me na me bebre mu me first no na me hot blooded but me call Wesley College and teacher mode fame. So what cha crowd de cry say 1+1. Ubita touch say you 2 no cry. So what is on yabotre. Auntie a shape me into one. Papa and my mama me call Wesley College in the Midomas. Yamisha Omo dear Quay now. Your doors was system number bree. Kabila, yeah. Kabila Wesley College. Oh, okay. But no Dimechi one.
Oh, okay.
Yes, na me ye campaign no. Abepi honum position there me college secretary, men secretary and